Today we're going to be making this fun toolbox. It can be used as a gift box. It's really fun. It has this gift tag that you can make to go on it too. This could be used for Father's Day or a birthday for a little boy or lots of fun things. So we will get started. To start with, you'll have a bunch of pieces to make the base of the box. That's what we'll start with. You'll have two rectangular pieces like this, and one of them you'll notice is larger than the other, and that's the one that you want to use right now as the base of your box. And these are the sides, and so we will glue the sides on here. And line them up. And you want to make sure that they're centered really nicely so that the rest of the pieces fit on properly, because if they are not lined up properly, then you're going to have a hard time putting the rest of your pieces on too. Then we're going to take our sides, which look like this. You're going to fold these so that these parts go in, and that's going to create a little handle on the side. And so you want to glue one of these on either side. And just line them up. Make sure the glue sets before you try to pick them up by that piece. Unlike me. And then after you get those on, you're going to take these sides and fold them up and glue them on. And you might find it easier to actually glue all of the pieces at the same time, because then you're not trying to get in between stuff as much. But you can start with lining stuff up on the bottom and being kind of messy here. You can be neater when you make yours. And hopefully you can see I'm just lining this up, and this top piece needs to be flush with the top side piece. And so I want to make sure they're all in place and then kind of hold them all there while they dry. And you're going to go around and do that to all the different sides while holding them in place. Okay, next I'm going to glue together the lid of the toolbox. You have this piece that has holes in it, that's the top, and then these side pieces, and you'll notice this top piece has one side that has this tab right here, and this side is the front. The ends aren't going in at all, they're just straight. That's the front of the box. So when you glue these on, you want to make sure that you have this rounded part in the back where this part that comes in, which is actually to glue onto the back. You want to have this rounded part going that way and this tab coming out to the front. And so we'll start gluing it down on this tab right here so we can line it up. And we want to center it really nicely. Here. everything lines up. We'll just let that set for a moment, and then we will glue these other tabs on. Like that. When you finish that, you can go and do the same thing on the other side of the box. Okay, I finished gluing the sides of this box together, as you can see, and I actually started gluing the top now too. This is how these go. You have these little pieces like this. They have holes on either side, and you want to bend them at the score lines on the side, and then you want to gently bend the top so it creates a little arc, and then you want to glue them down so that the holes line up with the holes on the top of your box. And you just want to glue one side down at a time. It's easier that way, and you also need to put your link in there. So we'll just put that down, let the glue set a bit, so you don't want it to come off. And then we'll slip this under here, and then we will put glue on our other side here. And then we'll put this down and let that set on that side too. And you have holes on these, and that is so that you can take a brad and can stick it in each of these. And it looks like little rivets or something that are in your toolbox, which makes it look fun and more realistic. And then of course you can take it and open the brads up underneath. After we finish that, we can put our handle on, which is this piece, and we actually want to carefully, again, gently bend the sides in, because these are going to glue underneath and they're going to go through these links. So we'll take this and slip it through here, and then we'll glue this side down. We'll just put a little glue kind of toward the center here, about that far in. And you want to line this piece up so that it matches the top piece. And then you're just going to hold it there and let it set. And after that's set well enough, you want to do the same thing on your other side. And put some more glue down. And we'll kind of line this up where our other piece stopped, underneath there. And we'll just pull it down and let it set and make sure all looks lined up and neat from the top. And after I finish that, we'll turn this back over. And you want to make sure you do this after you have your top pieces in, because this is going to hide both the brads and all the tabs on the inside. And this is the liner piece Again, this narrow part is going to line up with the front of your box. And we'll just put some glue on it. I'm try to go really fast here, just so you can get the idea. But we want to cover all the sides so that we make sure that it is secure when we put it down and doesn't curl up or something like that. And then we'll take it and stick it into the middle like this and just press it down and let it dry like that. Okay, now that we've finished the lid, we are going to take it and glue it to the bottom that we finished earlier. We're using this tab. So put glue on our tab here. And you have to make sure you glue this part down really well because you don't want the lid coming off. And sometimes it's a bit tricky to get it to line up and stay in place. More so than you might think. So I'm taking this and I'm putting it so that these are all on the outside and this one tab is on the inside of the box on the back. And I'm lining it up, and then I'm going to take it and put it down on my table where I can get into the inside. It's probably kind of hard to see, but you can push this down from the inside and let it set like that. And you want it to be on there really good, so don't take your hands off or move on probably until you think it's set really good, because otherwise you'll have problems. And you want to make sure that you do it in such a way that your box here is going to bend up, which looks like mine's a little bit too far down, so I might scoot it up a little bit here. And try again. You just want to make sure that the fold line here in the back has room to fold all the way back without running into the back of the bottom of your box, if that makes sense. So we'll try this again a little bit here. Make sure it's lined up. There, now it's bending back where you want it to. Okay, now we have the back of our box and it's set well enough to stay put. We're going to take these pieces which go on the inside of a box. We didn't put them on earlier because you want to put these on after the lid's on. They're going to go like this. So I'll just show you really quick with this one. We'll glue it down. And these pieces are going to not only add strength to your box, but they are going to hide all the tabs inside and keep them in place better too, which is especially important for the handles, because if you don't have the handles staying in place, then your box is going to fall apart. So whenever it tries to pick it up by the handles. So I'm going to slip this just inside the box, like this, and we're going to just push it down and let it sit there in place and finish off the inside of our box. So now that that is there, we are going to move on, and we'll know how to put that one on. We're just going to put the lock portion of our box together. So when your box is closed like this, you'll be able to put a lock here. There's a couple of little score lines that are just for reference on the front of your box, and those are centered in here, and you're going to take this piece, which the lock is going to go through, and we're going to just put some glue on the back of it. And then find our little tiny score lines, which probably aren't even showing up in the camera, but they're there. You want to center this on the score lines like that, and make sure it's on there straight, and let it dry. And while that is going, I'm going to take my lock pieces, which there's two pieces like this, and they are cut open on one end. And we're going to start by just gluing these together. You want to make sure that the cuts are lined up together. Like that. We'll glue these together, and then you actually have 6 little pieces that will go on top of this on the bottom, and that's these. And you actually can stack them, which is why there's 6, and I won't take the time to stack them here, but if you stack them together one on top of another like this, I won't do all these, then it will add some weight to your lock and make it stick out a little bit more, which gives a nice effect to it. But I won't take time to do all of that right now. Just take these pieces and we'll glue them down to the front of your lock like this. And you're going to do the exact same thing, stacking pieces and gluing them down to the back of your lock as well. But I won't show you that right now. So these will all go stacked on the back like that. So that's how your lock is going to be made. And we'll go back to this box. And what we want to do is take these 2 little pieces that have holes in them, and we're going to glue those together like this so it has tabs on either end sticking out. So we'll do that. And then we want to take this and we're going to glue it down to make sure that this lines up and can open and close. And so we're going to kind of line it up toward the top of this slot here, not the bottom. Like if you put it way down at the bottom, when you glue it on, this piece isn't going to come on and off that easy. So you want it lined up closer to the top of that slot rather than the bottom. So I will go ahead and put glue on here. I'm just going to stick it through this for reference, and then I'm going to put it down here and line it up and hold it in place until it dries, or at least sets. And if you want, you can kind of let go and make sure it's bonding really well with your fingers to the back of your box like this. And now when we close the box, to make sure our tabs stay out because we're not wanting to at the moment, this will just slide really nicely over that, and you could put your lock through it